Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports and Cascade Media Group. And tonight we have the defensive coach of Southeast Knights and two of his players. Who do we have here, Coach?
Well, correction, Coach. I'm the defensive back coach.
Defensive back coach.
Yes, sir.
Hey, straighten the old man out.
Hey, man, I just try to get you right, baby. It's all good.
Oh, baby. All right. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself, Coach. What your name is, how long you've been coaching, and then we're going to go into your players who you brought on tonight.
Well, I'm Joe Eason. I'm actually from Florida. Grew up playing football my life. Got recruited out of high school, couple of different schools. I ended up choosing to going to Arizona State out of high school. Then I ended up spending my last 2 years at Missouri State and playing there. So today we got cornerback.
Cornerback. My brother-in-law played corner for Green Bay Packers.
Oh, that's what's up.
That was back in the day. Give your measurements, man. Your physical measurements. Playing corner, I want to know what's up.
Back in high school, coming out of high school, I was like 5'11", 180. But when I got to college, I probably spread out to like 6 foot, 190. That was around the playing weight all through college.
Got on that training table?
Yeah, they feed you well in college.
So, what do you think you bring to this Southeast team in the way of experience and so forth?
Just experience, youth, just knowledge of the game, and just excitement, and the the will to win each and every day, consistency.
How do you feel about coming to Southeast and the programs that just in general, not just Southeast, the IL has had in the past and now trying to create a new culture?
I feel like my calling is just giving back, man. It is deeper than just coaching, you know what I mean? Because I was always taught if you could bring somebody else along, just one person along, you did your job. So that's what I always try to do, just bring somebody else along and just give back the stuff that I know to other players.
How do you gel with the coaching staff at Southeast? I've known Julius, the head coach, since he was in high school. How do you gel with the rest of your colleagues?
Well, to give you a little rundown story, I actually coached against Coach Foster because I also do the middle school flag football at Northeast Middle because I work in that building. So I actually coached against him 2 years in a row. So the first year he blew me out twice. He beat me in the regular season. Then he blew me out in the championship game. The next year, I kind of returned the favor. But most of our coaches, we pretty young. Coaches like Malik, Coach Sean, all of us just want to just give back to the kids and just teach them how to play football, teach them how to be consistent.
You come from the hood. You giving back. That's what it's about. Hey, Coach, who you got with you? Who you done drug into the doghouse with you?
Oh, well, first I introduce Myron. Got Myron Lewis right here. He's a D lineman, captain. Both of these guys are captain.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, there you go. Give a high sign, baby boy. Who else you got with you?
And then we got Mr. Jamel Jackson right here, Mr. Do It All himself.
I was going to say, what's Jamel's? He be smiling. What's his claim to fame? Let's go in on him first.
You want me to answer that, or you want him to answer that?
Yeah. Oh, no, you hold it. Coach, you know what you feel his claim to fame is. Let me ask, hey, what's your claim to fame, son?
This is brought to you by the Cherry Company.
Everything. Like all 3 nights of everything.
Hey, Coach, what's his claim to fame?
For me watching him every day, I think he's a hard worker, He ain't too much talk. He all about bringing it. He ain't gonna say too much. Nah, he ain't too much talk, man.
Be like, I see your lips moving, but what's your action like?
Nah. His action is above the rim. It's beyond all four quarters. I mean,
All
it's
right.
yeah, it's
Hold it.
relentless.
You know what caught my ear, Coach?
What's that?
4 quarters. You can bring it
Four
for
quarters.
a half, 3 quarters, but when it counts, it's in that fourth quarter. And some people
Yeah.
can't bring it for all 4 quarters. So obviously, you definitely on top of your game, knowing what your players are capable of doing and how they're capable. So I'm in on you, son. Run down your history from kindergarten, some of the teams you played for, some of the coaches you played for, and talk about some of the people that have helped you build your athletic skill set and your personal skill set as we Cascade Sports home to student athlete, and hopefully when we talk about student athlete, we're talking about not just being a student, but being a responsible young adult, growing into manhood, and in addition, because we are a primarily African American or Black network, as I like to say, what your responsibility is to your community. So start running it down from kindergarten and name some of the coaches and people that played a very important part in making you who you are now.
So I started when I was young. I started playing football when I was 5 for the Trailblazers. And then it just started from there. Then
who was your
when I
coach?
turned,
Give your coaches some action.
my coach's name was Coach Rick. Like he wanted me to play every year, so he started just paying for me to play for the Trailblazers every year. So
who was you playing?
Yeah.
What position?
I started off at quarterback. I never threw the ball. I always ran the ball, so it was easy.
Oh, you were Michael Vick type.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and run it on down.
Then I stopped for a little bit because I broke my femur. I broke my leg. So then I stopped. So I got into high school. I broke my femur playing football. I got hit in my leg. I caught the ball and got hit in my leg.
What game was that? And what grade was you in? You got to describe it because our audience don't know what you're talking about when you just give an answer. I broke my leg. How'd you break your leg? When did you break your leg? Was you a sophomore? Was you a junior? How long did it take for you to recover? That's what this is about. Run it down.
I broke my leg in the 6th grade. I was going against the Bears. I think I was going against the Bears. Somebody hit me. I caught the ball and somebody hit me in my leg. So then I stopped for a little bit till I got in high school. Then I started playing for.
I want to look. You broke your leg. Tell me this. How did that affect you psychologically? And you was only in the 6th grade. Boy, they must have been hitting hard. Hey, coach. Are they breaking bones at that age?
Maybe back in Florida.
Are they hitting that hard that people are getting?
Nah, I never experienced it.
All right, hold it. I just want to know. I covered South Suburban for years, football. So, how did that affect you mentally? Breaking your leg, that didn't scare you about playing football?
Yeah, it scared me that I should start playing basketball. It scared me I started playing basketball. Then my Coach Mack, he used to coach here when I was a freshman. He wanted me to play. He kept asking me to play. So all my friends was out there playing. So I was like, forget I'm just gonna come out and play.
What did your mom or your parents say?
They wanted me to play too.
They did?
They all wanted me to play.
How did they feel when you broke your leg back in the day?
They just, I mean, they cared. Like they wanted me to like keep playing. Because I was running when I had my cast on my brace, so I didn't ever put on my brace though. They had to make me put on my brace though.
I love it. You know, some moms and dads, you get hurt. Oh no, you can't play that sport no more. So run it down your freshman year to where you at now.
My freshman year, I didn't really get no playtime, but I played. Like I played sometimes, but I really wasn't getting the game.
Why didn't you get any play?
Because it was a lot of seniors, it was a lot of players. Like
were they better than you, or were they just in a higher grade than you?
Not all of them was better than me. It was like a few of them that was better than me.
Did you
So
understand you had to wait your turn, or what was in your mind?
yeah, I understand. I have to wait my turn. I was just beating them and doing everything I could do in practice to get some reps, so I can become better.
Did you
But
think do you think the coaches judge you fairly on you feel you better than a couple of players and yet they higher up on the charts?
I feel like the coaches doesn't treat me all the same. I don't want to be treated different from nobody.
All right. So how did you finish your freshman year?
Uh,
1 to 10.
I say like a 6.
6.
6.
Your personal season?
Yeah, 6.
Run it on down your sophomore season.
My sophomore season, I started.
From day one?
Yeah.
Tell us what you did that summer.
The summer?
The summer before you started, your sophomore year, what did you, when the season stopped your freshman year, did you make plans to want to start? I was an athlete, and when I wasn't starting, I wasn't a happy person. And that summer, I worked my butt off. So the next time the season came around, I'm like, all right, I got you.
Yeah, me and the guys, we was always on the field in the summer trying to get better. Like, we was on the field every day. To this day, we still stay on the field.
All right. What do you think that did for your skill set?
It made me better. When we on the field, we always try to make each other better. We don't never try to give hands off. We always try to make each other better.
So what was your sophomore season like, and did you make any preparation to say, I'm a sophomore now, and these are some goals I want to ascertain this season? Did you have anything like that?
Yeah, it was this player named Doty. I looked up to him like a brother, and I told him every season he had, I was gonna do better than him. So that season I did do better than him. Yeah, Doty Patterson.
Hey, Coach, run. I'm cutting you off again. Run down some stuff about this kid Doty. Did you know him?
From what I watched about Doty, he was one of the best players on their team. I wasn't one of their coaches at that time. Me personally, my personal opinion, I feel like he was a better receiver than he was a defensive player. You know, he ran great routes whenever he got the ball. Most of the time, he got double teamed a lot because a lot of teams knew that he was off these best players from the games that I watched him. I watched him practice. One day I had to humble him one day in the gym, let him know that, you know, this ain't what he wanted. You know, I had to do some one-on-ones with him one time and then humble him real fast. But Doty was a good player, actually. Doty was a good player.
So how did you get along? He was one of your mentors on defense or offense? Or
Offense.
Just all around?
Offense.
On a 1 to 10, what kind of hands you got, man?
10.
Don't play with me.
10.
Coach, you know I have the coach sign on everything. Coach, that's what, Hey, the kids, when we get off camera a lot of time, the kids be saying, why you always have the coach? I be like, because y'all are telling brother, hey, I'm Michael Jordan. And if you don't look real quick, you'll be thinking he Michael Jordan. So run it down, Coach.
For the most part, he's consistent. I mean, you know, especially on defense.
I ain't. Bro say he had.
He got a 10. I mean, I wouldn't give him a 10. I wouldn't give him a 10.
Yeah. Coach done. I think Coach pegging you about an 8.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't because 10. I need you to catch everything. I don't anything in you for 10.
Coach, what you say? Well, Coach, you're not breaking him no slack. What you say?
Hey,
you want a 10? That means you Spider-Man. Bam.
Hey.
All right. All right. So, you satisfied with that 8.5, bro? You 8.5 now. So that means you got a lot of work to put in. What
I can say is on the defensive side of the ball, he catch all the picks now. He ain't letting them picks slip out his hand. He got about 5 of them. So
he got 5 picks this season.
Yeah, and he haven't played one position, the same position, almost the whole season. So Maybe you have more than that,
man. Run your picks down. Can you remember in your head each pick, your first pick, how the play went down, and how you picked? Run that down.
My first pick, it was against Van Horn. The slot had a flat. I think he had a flat or an arrow, and I was reading the quarterback, and I just took it and ran off with it.
Where was you at? What was the marker, the yard markers, and how far did you return?
I think we was on like 50,
about 60 yards.
And when you picked, did you get in the end zone, or did they get hold of you?
Yes, I got in the end zone. Yes.
Oh, all right, that's what's up. Run down your second pick.
My second pick was against Northeast. He threw it. The slot had a go.
Quarterback, or was you reading the play? Run it down?
I was reading the play. I was looking at the quarterback in the slot. I seen the slot had a go, and on my backside, I knew I had to worry about the other player because I already knew the other player was locked up. So I was just reading the slot. So I see him looking at the slot the whole time. So I was just on it.
Hey, are these quarterbacks, are they shifty or from a defensive back position? Do you read most of them plays? And especially with Southeast, let's talk about this. Do you read the plays, and do you feel coaching staff and film have gotten you ready enough for who you playing?
Coaching and the film got me like Joe Eason.
You gonna eat some cheese now? Go ahead and eat some. Get a big mouthful. Go ahead and talk about Coach Eason. Go ahead and talk about it.
Coach Eason, we be watching film a lot, and we study on them players and the whole team a lot, so we be ready for it when the time comes.
You say you be ready, like Freddie?
Yes, sir.
My day, Fred is dead, but your day, you ready like Freddie. All right. So go to your third pick.
Third pick was against Northeast too. It was against Northeast.
Hey, Lewis, I got you covered. Just sit tight, baby boy.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
It was against Northeast. The right side receiver had a post. He had a post, and I was just reading again, like just reading the quarterback in the receiver.
What do the receivers say when you or the quarter? Do you have any conversation with them after the game or whatever you?
I'm gonna be.
Huh?
I tell every corner or whoever I'm guarding, I'm gonna be on you all night, every night, all night. It's gonna be a long night for you.
Hold it, boy. You backs, man. That's my brother-in-law used to always tell me how he used to talk to them receivers, and get in their head. Is that part of your main game, or what's what?
Yeah. Because by getting your head, you're gonna try to do some stuff you can't do. It's gonna just make it easy for me.
Tell me this: are you a hitter or are you a finesse player?
I would say I'm a finesse.
All right, yeah, because some corners, all they know is I'm gonna knock your head off, and then you got some corners that are playing the quarterback. They all doing that, but they hitting low. They are not necessarily trying to take your head off, but they taking you down.
Nah, I take your head off.
Oh, you taking your head off too?
Yes.
Coach, describe his play.
Huh?
Describe his defensive play. Whether he's at corner, he plays safety too.
Nah, Jamel is actually an athlete. Jamel is a do-it-all type of guy. He's one of the best I've seen out here in the inner city. He can go play at any school in Missouri, any school, and he's a D1 guy. The only thing that I tell you is we haven't let him play one position to see how great he really is, other than receiver. But on the defensive side, he's played safety, he's played nickel, he's played some DN, he's played linebacker. But
I was getting ready to ask, did he play any linebacker? He said he
we get everything that want to run. He's our answer, over the top, save it. He's one of our guys.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.
You know, he's the guy we just move around on the defense.
So what are your ambitions for this season? Have you set some goals for this season? And the other thing I want to know, have any schools given you a look?
Yeah. My goal was 12 touchdowns. I only got 11. I got 11 right now. I just need one more, and I'm done. And the schools, I've been talking to a couple schools. It's a couple schools, not a lot.
I think once the season, it just so happened this C19 has really upset the apple cart for some of you seniors on what the coaches were able to get out and see and just the whole thing. But I do believe with what I'm hearing from the coach that you probably will be receiving some offers.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely, what do you think about going to a HBCU?
I wanted to go to HBCU. My favorite HBCU was North Carolina A&T.
All right. I just did an interview with on our Wave of the Future high excelling black college students from AT&T. I know you know Alvin Brooks, the crime fighter here, Mr. Brooks. His great grandson is there in a biological program that we were featuring him. It's nice down there, and now that I know that, I will give your coach's information that we are in contact with AT&T and have Coach Eason make a personal phone call to them to let them know to put you on the watch list. So, with that being said, how important is your education to you?
My education is important. I try to tell every young freshman to do their work, so you don't have to worry about your GPAs, all that stuff. Try to tell every young freshman just stay on your grade, so you can go to a good college and play. If you want to play football or sports, you can get into any college you want to.
Who's been some of the mentors in your life to help you with your personal skill development?
My brother, Foster.
Our people don't know you. You got to name the people's names so that they can recognize them.
My brother, Andrew Jackson, Coach Foster.
Shout out Andrew from Baby Boy.
Coach Foster, Coach Easton, all my coaching staff, all the coaching staff.
You coaches that can't coach at the Knights, shout out from one of your number one ballers. Really appreciate everything you've done for him. Hey, Eason.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are really doing a good job over there. I don't be eating a lot of cheese, but I'll eat some too right now. Because our kids need men like you that our student athletes, like the ones we're introducing, really respect you. And I'm one that can tell the bull from the real deal. And y'all have had players on, and it seemed like y'all are doing a hell of a job over there. As I said, rebuilding the culture, the winning culture, the mindset.
I thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. I mean, what we trying to instill is more than just football, man. You know, other sides, academic and stuff. Because I have 4 older brothers, and they got felonies, all that. I'm from the project. I'm the only one to go to college, you know. So we trying to let them know that, man, you can go to college too. You know, now that these guys seeing that and we pushing that to them, you know, they trying to strive for that each and every day and make sure their grades is up and having the things that they need to go on to the next level, you know, because now it ain't just a thought. It's I actually can do it now, you know. And with us putting it in their head every day and sending their film out to coaches and let them know what they need to be doing is, oh, it's real. Like, I really can go to college. It ain't just you really can go if that's what you're dreaming and that's your aspiration to go to college. You know, because even me personally, even if our guys don't get a scholarship offer, football offer, I still want to go to college just to experience something different outside of Kansas City because that's where I made some of my best friends and some of the best people that I ever met in college.
They're lifelong friends.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you want to have any closing statements? You want to give any shout outs to anybody before we get on to Lewis?
He talking to you, Jamel.
You said I'm gonna give a shout out to my pops. My
What's his
pops
name?
my pops Melvin Johnson.
Hey, Melvin, baby boy, he hollering at you real loud. He had a soft voice, but I could tell in his tone, he got you in his heart. Go ahead.
And my pops and my grandpa Lester Jackson.
That's who gets the real shout out, because I'm Paw myself. Grandpa gets it all. He made it all happen. No daddy, no you. Ah! All right. Anybody else?
Nah, that's it. I'm just appreciating them because they be on me every time on the field. My pops be able to try to get to every game he can get to.
That support is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you see him up in the stands, tell me, how about when you see your grandfather up in the stands? Does that mean anything?
It mean a lot to me. It mean a lot to me.
All right.
I appreciate it every time my grandpa can come to one of my games.
Excellent. All right. Hey, Lewis, you've been patient, but see, you've been on the show maybe 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You know the drill. Run it on down. What this season has been like. What you want to do. The ball is in your hands. Tell our audience what you want them to know. You've been on the show enough that I'm just not going to ask you too much of anything. You just talk about, like I said, you know the drill.
Okay, so my elementary and my middle school years, I did not play football at all. First time I ever played was freshman year, and I was on JV. Fast forward to my sophomore year, I started under Coach Coffey, and I would say I did pretty good, mainly on offense because I'm not really a defensive player like that. Then fast forward my junior year, first game of the season, who was that? It was against Excelsior Springs, yes. And had an injury that put me out for the rest of the season.
What kind of injury did you have?
I
think we talked about this before.
All right, at first it was an LCL sprain, and then one day in gym, I was hooping, and I landed on my knee wrong, and I tore my ACL, MCL, a little bit of my meniscus.
What grade was you in?
I was a junior at the time.
Tell me this.
Last year.
Like I asked him about his injury, because I had an injury. I was tracked, but so that you can talk to other athletes that get injured, what your mindset was and what it took for you to come back. Because some people get injured and they just quit.
Yeah.
Run it down, okay. Your injury, and then what went through your mind when you did have the injury, and were you determined to come back?
Okay, so when I got injured, it was 8 months of rehabilitation. So that really boosted my mindset of saying that I have to get back. You know, I'm doing this for my team, doing this for my family, and everything. Like doing this for myself. You know, so it boosted me to keep going, and I never stopped. And now I'm back.
So, what's happening with this season?
Senior year is going pretty good. Love our coaching staff. Love everybody I play with. You know, doing pretty good. Offensive, really not defensive.
Your personal. What I'm saying now. What's going on with you personally?
You mean goals and?
Yeah, your goals. And tell me this: have you had any personal challenges as a senior, from a mental or academic standpoint? You know, this C19 just has turned things, to me, on its head. And
okay, so so mentally, it was kind of challenging because I was thinking, what if I re-injure my knee? What if, what if I don't get looked at by any colleges, you know? But physically, goal I set was to, well, I'm on the offensive line. I play center, guard, tackle, wherever they need me to play. So basically, my goal was to not let our quarterback get sacked, from my personal standpoint. But during the game against Lexington, our quarterback did get sacked, so I allowed 1 sack this season.
You been in the weight room this season a lot?
Nah, not because of COVID. Because of COVID-19, I do have a weight set at in my basement at home, so I have been trying to do a little something there. Push ups, sit ups, you know.
Have you had any looks as of yet?
No, not yet. But I am trying to reach out to schools and stuff to see if I can land anywhere.
What's your physical measurements?
5'11", probably about 260.
What would you play in college? Hey, coach, for other
Yes,
coaches, because we have a lot of coaches that look at our interviews, run it down, your assessment of this player, and
Myron.
for any coaches that are looking.
Truthfully, my opinion from watching Myron from day one to now, I think he's a guy that, he's the type of kid that every coach would want on their team. And not saying it just because these are our players, but truly, if you know Myron, you know he's a good kid and he's gonna do exactly what you tell him to do. He might not be the biggest, he might not be the fastest, but he's gonna do it to the best of his ability. And you can count on Myron every day. He haven't missed a practice. He's been to practice every day consistently, doing everything we asked of him, and he's have done every position we have asked of him. So Myron is the type of kid, that you can trust on the field.
I'm interrupting you on Division I, Division II, or Division III, because we have connections with all three. What would be NAIA? Would that type of situation fit him, or what?
I think he's a lower level guy. He's more of a D2 NAIA type of guy. From watching him and seeing him, this season, he's one of those guys.
All right. Well, Cascade Media Group, we're a Black owned network, and we have our connections, and our network is really dedicated to our young men to help them use this as a springboard. So,
hey man, coaches, if y'all watching, man, we got some guys that can play. And I'm from Florida. I done seen guys that can play. I done played with some of the best. I've been to the Pac-12 and played with some of the best. We got some guys that can play at Southeast, at Southeast Knights, however you want to call us, whatever. Right. But
hey, the main thing is we got some dogs here.
We got some guys.
Yeah, that
we got some guys.
Things happen, and talk to me about your academics, Lewis.
Academics. I would say I have been on my stuff at school, trying not to slack off. Trying to teach other kids, mentor them to say, "Hey, do not slack off." It starts from your freshman year.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. What advice would you give a young freshman now that you don't go through it?
It might be some challenges. You might have to make some sacrifices, but it starts your freshman year. You do not want to slack off. If you slack off, it follows you in the long run. It's pretty bad.
All right, that's what's up. Hey, Coach, you got any closing statements?
Man, I would say, man, if you got any guys that want to see a great game, come out and watch us play against Springbrook. Last year was really close, but we're trying to take it to. The game is Friday at 7 p.m. at Pembroke. I also want to give all the coaches and the players a shout out. We also was IL co-champion this year. These guys, had a great season, even though we was hit with COVID for 2 weeks. We didn't get to play 2 games. We also had a 500 winning record, which is 4-4. But each year we just trying to progress and turn it to a bigger and better program.
Excellent. Sir, you want to give your Foster? You want to give your closing statements?
Foster, nah, I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the team or something. Boy, Coach had you pinned right from the jump. Coach
I'm telling you, he's not.
He don't talk a lot. Say something.
He's not gonna say too much.
Some action, man. Shout out to Cascade or something.
Shout out to the whole Nice Nation, you know what I'm saying? Nice, the new legacy. Shout out to the new legacy.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. Hey, Myron, go ahead and make your move. What you working with on your closing statement?
I want to give a shout out to my mom because she was the first person to even tell me to play. Because at first I didn't, but you know, Tara Lewis. Tara Lewis.
Hey, Miss Lewis. Hey, boy, he's serious about you. He like shout out to my mama. All right, go ahead.
I want to also shout out every coach that's been in my path, telling me to get better, teaching me everything that I know now, and I love them.
All right, man. You know, my son went to Southeast, and right in walking distance of where I spent my young adult days. You have a hell of a sports history there, and your class is bringing it back. They had a backslide for about a decade, I would think, but you individuals are paving a new culture and a winning culture, not just in sports, as in academics also. And here at Cascade Sports, home of the student athlete, we wish you gentlemen the very best. And as we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
Program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.